Assalamualaikum everyone. So we are from group 9 and today we will present to you guys about natural disaster in Malaysia. So my name is Nur Sakinah binti Omar and the other member of my group is Nur Fadhilah binti Adzhar and Nur Aina Syamimi binti Rosli. So next we will go to our introduction. On our planet, there are many environmental risks that we must consider because the consequences are quite serious. Based on our topic, we will present to you guys about it in Malaysia. It's about natural disaster. They are usually events that have a negative impact on life and humans being in general. And also, they are mainly caused by phenomena that occur without human intervention. In most cases, humans are responsible for the consequence resulting from bad practices, whether technology or poor planning. So in here, we want to present one of these natural disasters that usually happen in Malaysia, and it was called the flood. So next, we will go to the cause of the flood. The first one is low or flat areas. Low or flat areas. Okay, floods can occur or low-lying areas when the water rate is supplied by heavy rainfall and is higher than normal rate. So, starting for the excess water accumulates somewhere and can sometimes reach a dangerous depth. Surface soil can be filled with water. Infiltration is also slow in areas of frozen soil, stone, concrete, paved or roof areas. Area flooding begins in flat areas such as floodplains and in local depression areas that are not connected to the flow channel because the end velocity depends on the surface slope. Okay, second, by the areas that has rivers or lakes. In addition, floods can also occur from water sources that overflow from water reservoirs like rivers, lakes, oceans, or where areas. That's why mostly people that stay at this area must always be prepared for their safety. That's all from me, so I will pass to the next presenter.
Now, I will explain to you the effects of the flood. Firstly, to human. As most people are aware, flooding has serious effects such as loss of life, property damage, crop damage, livestock loss, and failure of health due to waterborne infections. Then, flash floods which occur suddenly and with little or no notice kill more people than slow-moving river systems flood. Floods are mostly unclean water that can carry waterborne diseases and perhaps chemicals that not harm water quality. Flood water can damage a community's water supply, resulting in diseases and infections towards adults and children. Next, the effect of flood to environment. Public infrastructure damage impacts much larger section of the population than those whose homes or business are immediately flooded. Similarly, disruptions in industry might result in huge losses. Infrastructure damage has long-term consequences such as disruption in clean water supplies, wastewater treatment, electricity, transportation, communication, education, and healthcare. But not least, the effects of flood to economy. Following a flood, there are frequently short-term declines in regional tourism, while the impact on tourism infrastructure and the time required to return to full operational capacity may be minor. Photographs of flood-affected areas usually result in booking cancellations and a huge fall in tourist numbers. The high cost of relief and recovery may have a negative influence on infrastructure and the other development initiatives in the area, and in some situations may destroy the area's already fertile economy.
Thank you to my friend. So I will continue with my part, which is how to avoid the flood. The first step that we take to avoid the flood, first, deepen the river. The first step is the efforts to deepen the river must be vigorously carried out. Most floods occur due to the shallowness of the river. If the river used to be able to flow a large amount of water at a time, now the flow has decreased. This matter does due to the process of deposition and disposal of waste materials. Step to address this problem is to carry out the process of deepening the river by digging up all the mud at the bottom of the river. When this process is done, the river not only becomes deep but is able to flow a lot of rainwater. Starting with that, the drainage and drainage department needs to be more proactive to address this issue. The second way that we can take to avoid the flood is controlling human activity. Flash floods occur mainly in the city due to the dumping of rubbish and industrial waste into rivers and ditches. To address this problem, awareness to the community needs to be disclosed so that these negative activities do not continue to be done, such as holding camping to leave the river. Certain bodies should also be responsible for ensuring that the river is always clean and not used as a garbage dump. Floods are an inevitable disaster, especially when it involves heavy rains. However, effort should be made to reduce the effect of floods. Humans must always be vigilant with this incident. And the last way that we can take to avoid the flood is preserving the forest. Logging activities where exploration in riverside areas are popular cause soil erosion and collapse into rivers. The same situation also occurs when logging activities are carried out on hill slopes. Therefore, forest conservation is a good way to overcome the problem of floods. Forests can be used as catchment area that can absorb rainwater from flowing directly to the earth. Forests can function as a coral flower by absorbing rainwater and flowing slowly into tributaries. It also acts as a filter in determining the clean lines and clarity of the water. Forests are able to absorb rainwater at a rate of 20%. Then this rainwater is released back into the atmosphere through evaporation of condensation. Only then can a reduction of rainwater be done.
The conclusion of this speech, we tell you about the cause of flood, the effects of the floods, and how to avoid the flood so that we can save our nature. So that's all from our group. We hope our speech can give benefit to us. Thank you for lending us your ears and attention.